got to talk to the players first in the owners meeting. I think the first step to even being able to even have a conversation is making sure that Colin Kaepernick gets an opportunity to play in the NFL. I think that's before we even negotiate anything about um, whether we sit, whether we stand. It should be a negotiation about opening up the doors for Colin Kaepernick and giving him an opportunity again. Because I feel like through everything that's been lost, I think all of us are having opportunities to be able to speak to our employers, and then to think about the guy who started everything, not to be able to have a voice at this moment, it just doesn't seem very right to me. But to be able to talk about giving him an opportunity in some fashion, in some way, there has to be the owners. If the employers are willing to accept what we're doing and trying to make a change, then the change has to start with him having an opportunity and getting a chance to play. For me, that's the first step before we make any kind of decisions, is that we have to bring up that issue and be able to talk about it and why doesn't he have a job. And if you look at the quarterbacks playing in the NFL right now, I can't name one out of the backups, I can't name one better than him. And there's a lot of good quarterbacks that's starting, but if you really think about the backups and having an opportunity to even get a chance to suit up, and I think before we can move forward, that's something that we need to address as a league and address as the players and address as the NFLPA, because if it can happen to one of our own, then how can we fight for what we want if we can't protect the people who play next to us? And I think that's something that we need to make sure that we get across to the employers and Roger and the rest of the guys.
What was the response to that yesterday, or was that brought up yesterday?
I think it was brought up, but I think they didn't really get deep into it. But I think it's something, like I said, there needs to be a deep conversation, and we need to find a solution about that. Whether they say this is what's happening, he's not going to play again, or whether they open the doors up. But I think there needs to be some kind of resolution to what's going on.
Are you afraid that might, just like Trump's comments and the controversy with the anthem itself, you afraid that the Kaepernick issue, advocating for that right now, might derail the message and what you're ultimately doing?
That's not derailing the message. I think that is a part of the message. I think what he brought up, he started the message, and for us to forget about who started it, I think I don't think we're not following our brotherhood or whatever. We got to make sure we bring that up. I don't think it derails the message. I think that is a part of the message. Also giving him the opportunity, because if we're going to talk about the message, a guy who brought it up can't get sacrificed to not be able to have the opportunity to play again. So for me personally, and I think a lot of other guys, I think that's something that needs to be addressed.
If he remains unemployed, can you work alongside with the league, like Doug Baldwin in his letter with Goodell?
I think we could work alongside of them until we address that issue. I think the issue with Kaepernick is the start to a conversation, and if they want us to be open to what they want, the dialogue, then that's something that needs to be on the table right there.
Is that something that you and other players have agreed upon?
Yeah, I think that's something that all of us agree upon. Yeah.
Have you been able to talk to Colin, or anybody talk to him late in the last 24 hours at all, or?
Oh no, I mean we talked, but I'm just saying that for me, like I said, that's on the table. That has to be on the table before we can have any other discussions.